We spend so much of our lives trying to be perfect, trying to get everything right. But what if I told you that one of the best things you could do to get people to like you is to mess up? Yeah, today we're digging into the surprising power of making a mistake.
Think about it. We're always told to put our best foot forward, right? In a job interview, on a first date, giving a big presentation, the goal is to seem polished, competent, basically flawless. But is that really the best strategy? Is perfect always better?
I mean, this idea is everywhere, isn't it? Don't show weakness. Never let them see you sweat. Project this image of unshakable confidence. And on the surface, it makes sense. We admire people who are good at what they do.
But here's the crazy idea. What if spilling a little coffee on yourself or tripping on the way to the stage, what if that could actually make people like you more? It sounds totally backward, I know, but believe it or not, a classic psychology study put this exact theory to the test. So, let's jump back in time to 1966 and look at this really clever experiment. It was designed to figure out how a simple mistake can totally change how people see you.
The official title was The Effect of a Pratfall on Increasing Interpersonal Attractiveness. Kind of a mouthful, but the goal was simple. See what a screw-up does to someone's likability. The setup was a fake tryout for a college quiz bowl, and participants just had to listen to recordings of contestants and rate how much they liked them. Simple enough, right?
Now, to make this a real test, the researchers needed to compare different types of people. So they cooked up two totally distinct characters for their fake contestants. One was designed to be Mr. Perfect, and the other, well, let's just say he was perfectly average. And they really laid it on thick. The superior contestant, he got 92% of the questions right, was an honor student, editor of the yearbook, star of the track team. I mean, the whole package. Then you have the average guy. He only got 30% right, had so-so grades, and he just tried out for the track team. So yeah, the difference was meant to be obvious. Okay, but here's where the experiment gets really ingenious. The researchers added one more little thing into the mix. A simple, clumsy mistake. So for half of the people listening, the audio recording had a surprise ending. After the quiz part was over, they heard the contestant have a small, kind of embarrassing accident. And it wasn't just a generic sound effect. No, they made it very specific. The participants heard the clatter of a coffee cup, a chair scraping back, and then this exact line. It was designed to sound completely real, totally relatable, and, just very human.
So, let's recap. We have 4 conditions: the super smart guy, the average guy, and then a version of each of them who spills coffee on himself. The participants listened and then rated how much they liked the person.
Okay, so take a second and make your prediction. Who do you think came out on top? The perfect contestant? Does spilling coffee help, or does it hurt?
All right, let's look at the data because this is wild. The superior guy who didn't mess up got a likability score of about 21. Pretty good. But the superior guy who spilled the coffee, his score jumps all the way to 30.2. It skyrockets. Now, look at the average guy. Without the mistake, he's at about 18. But when he spills the coffee, his score completely tanks to negative 2.5, a total disaster for him.
And if you're a visual person, this chart just says it all. The highly competent person who also had a clumsy moment was, by a huge margin, the most liked person in the entire study, and that exact same mistake made the average person the absolute least liked. It's not even close.
This incredible finding got a name, the Pratfall Effect. Basically, it's the idea that a blunder isn't just a blunder. Its impact depends entirely on how competent you are to begin with. If you're seen as highly capable, a mistake can actually make you more attractive. But if you're seen as average, it just confirms you're, clumsy.
So that brings us to the big question, right? Why? What is going on in our heads that makes us see a high achiever mess up and think, yeah, I like that person even more now?
Well, the theory that makes the most sense is that a mistake, it humanizes someone. It makes them relatable. A person who seems perfect can also seem a little distant, maybe even intimidating. A mistake just shatters that perfect image. You know that feeling when someone seems too good to be true? It can actually make them hard to connect with. A pratfall, like spilling coffee, is a peek behind the curtain. It's a moment of vulnerability. It reminds us they're not some flawless robot. They're a person, just like us. And that shared moment of humanity is incredibly appealing.
Now, the crucial point here isn't to go out and start making mistakes on purpose. You have to establish that you're competent first. That's key. But what this tells us is that once you've done that, being afraid to show a tiny flaw might be the real mistake. A small error doesn't make you look less competent, it just makes you look more human.
So I'll leave you with this question to think about.
Who's someone you really admire? A boss, a public figure, anyone? Can you think of a time when a small mistake, a little moment of imperfection, actually made you like or respect them even more? It's a powerful reminder that sometimes the best thing you can be isn't perfect. It's just human.